Jamaican DNA is not wired for trusting white Buckra Massa Englishmen. No, sorry, it is not. He who feels it knows it, and experience teaches wisdom. Children that put their fingers in the fire yesterday do not put their fingers in the fire today. If you do not believe, test it out. Hello again, people. SkyWalker here, talking light to politics again. Yes, you know I don't like to even speak on politics. However, all that's going on today is too much to just watch. I hear the people that hide under the defunct PNP umbrella campaigning and telling all sorts of lies. Sometimes they make accusations about the ruling party, talking about corruption. But Jamaica does not forget what happened under the rule of the PNP. The worst that has ever happened to Jamaica is the destruction of our own Jamaican version of Black Wall Street under the sin of FINSAC and the PNP, caused by the advice of an international and evil foreign institution and the input of the venomous British mole Mark Golding, who benefited humongously from the blood, sweat, and tears of black people being sacrificed again. And now he wants to sacrifice our integrity abroad. Why is he here? There is always that understanding that they think they own us. They think they own our little daughters, and they think they own our human rights because of throwback from slavery and the way they were allowed to ravage. No, these are the ones that did not get the memo. It's not business as usual. They come to corrupt us with their corruption so that they can blame us for corruption. Jamaican DNA cannot trust Buckra Massa Englishmen that cemented distrust in black man's DNA. Them and their whips, their muskets, their chains, and their wig wagging lying tongues, lying over and upon everything that moves or not, that is or is not, including themselves, to their very place of birth and who was their papa and mama, talking about they came here as slaves on slave ships, as children of our black ancestors, after we felt like we had nothing left for them to steal this, our ancestors. If your ancestors came on slave ships as slaves, Mark Golding, why did your mother and father come from England with British ancestry and poliomyelitis coming behind your father? Huh? Answer that. Lying Englishmen with whips, muskets, chains, and poliomyelitis coming behind them cannot be trusted. For your information, this is no prejudice. It is common sense capitalized by experience. Whips, muskets, chains, and poliomyelitis coming behind it. Listen, people, things are not always what they seem to be. Not even the norm is what it seems. If I say something that goes above your head, just let it pass. It is not for you. We relate only to the norms we understand. For example, we do not know that a black Egyptian who goes to America is registered as white if he is a Christian. Christianity to them means they are white, literally. There was a black Egyptian man going through hell in America to be identified as black, and his employer did not even like the fact that he didn't want to be white anymore. This way, there will be no record of a black Egyptian in America unless secular ones came. This would be good for the records as far as the white man lying rhetoric about him being the historic Egyptian goes. So you see what we have always been going through? In fact, there is not supposed to be such a thing as a black Christian, period. If you are Christian, you are seen as white. In the West and in other parts of Africa, it is adjusted to suit certain conditions that we cannot explain on a tangent in this video about something else. Black people, raise your hand if you knew that before. Raise your hand if you knew what I just told you. Some truths are very weird, ain't it? I said that things are not always the way they seem. In a place of a different norm, the truth is an anomaly. Therefore, skip whatever is too much for you. I am trying to show you to expect norms that will blow your mind coming to a world near you quite soon. Your oppressors already know that they are out of their superficial power. Let them accept their fates and leave you alone. You will raise your children to breathe back life inside of this dead carcass of earth. They are no longer relevant to our decisions. I never thought that I would put inside the business of politics again. Now I think I will. Our people are on the threshold of paradise and we will not give it up for anyone. The more they do, the more the ancestors will do. The earth is angry at them, but they come talking about corruption. Their problem with corruption is always where they that destroy and corrupt our world see us gathered in the world. Their problem with evil is always with those they oppress in the evilest ways that Mother Earth has ever experienced in the victimization of her children. Even in America, there will be talks about corruption in government. We understand that we will work on our own selves without help from Britain. Their acts always destroyed us, black people, from here to Africa. Their acts, whenever they come to help, always destroyed us. Big up all the genuine Jamaican leaders, those that at least tried. Big up the living patriarch in PJ Patterson. Big up Bruce Golding, Portia Simpson, Peter Phillips, who shook the hand of Mark Golding and was lucky to come out alive. And big up Brogard, the little youth from around a Spanish town, cause we must all know where we come from. Those that know us will be respected by us. The white man named Edward Seaga, who did well as Prime Minister of Jamaica, was not born in Jamaica, but he had no other citizenship except Jamaican. He was instrumental in helping to create the conditions that brought up our version of Jamaica's Black Wall Street in the sense of a powerful middle class that was growing too fast for white supremacy. We see the same model of destruction that they used in every black space where the people were rising. Everywhere that black people were rising, they do the same thing, like the burning of Black Wall Street in America and FINSAC in Jamaica. And we know why they had to keep the larger masses down, like Nigeria, Haiti, and the blacks in America. And now these guys are coming here. Edward Seaga died before he died by seeing his great hope for Jamaica crumble before his face by acts of sabotage from a foreign bank and at the devilish cunning of Mark Golding advising a delusional Omar Davis whom our ancestors want to make live, see, and remember this before he goes before their face. The spirit of the white man, Edward Seaga, blesses our blessed land, for he died loving us so much. He was the genuine Jamaican, but not by claiming his ancestry in those that came as slaves on slave ships. That would make him a lying vermin. He would not do that. You cannot have a white man with whip, musket, chain, and a lying tongue claiming that he came as slave with us and now he will lead us. He is a liar. Isn't it obvious yet? Huh? Isn't that obvious yet? We never heard a Jamaican Chinese, some of whom are powerful in Jamaica, claiming African ancestry in order to be a Jamaican. They are Jamaicans as who they are, and we are Jamaicans as who we are, and we must just respect each other. That is how it should be. Mark Golding, that is how it should be. Our African ancestors told us to take sleep and know death. They said, take sleep and to know death. By that, we know who is not real. Real, no real about ya. Jamaicans don't like unreal and back and belly rats. Those two things Jamaicans don't like, Mr. Golding. This is our fight for freedom and autonomy. But a British mold comes in between, just as they often do in Africa, and Africans accept it. Me and my brother Ibrahim Traore are one, and there will be many more like us. I know that many brothers have failed, but unlike in Africa, we already have 1,000 and more Gagan sisters in Jamaica. We will know what we have been through in the past. We all know. We must be willing to die for the cause. We are fighting for our lives here. Damned if you do, and damned if you don't. So you had better just do. We cannot take compromising positions or compromising tones. We cannot embrace turncoats from Kenya, come here to play like Fred, and then act like their father Ruto. I said we cannot compromise, and we cannot tone down with anyone, friend or foe. If the traitor is black, throw him out, and if he is white, put him on a flight. You traitors know yourselves. By the way, when since some lying traitor Dash Lifestyle vlogger from Kenya becomes Jamaica's spokesman with all Mark Golding's trolls, many of them international people playing like Jamaicans in the comments. They do their best to make it seem like Jamaica is in crisis and are trying to be free from a tyrannic Andrew-holness. Which country is this happening in? Where? I'm in Jamaica and I have not seen this. Dash Lifestyle can, well, he even made one video discreetly suggesting that many people were being sexually molested. Children, in fact, children were being sexually molested and unalived in Jamaica, and it was Andrew Holness' fault. Well, if this was pushed by the opposition, then where it comes to children being sexually molested, that would have nothing to do with Andrew Holness. And we have proof of it. He used Mia Motley's name to verify his argument by saying that Mia Motley called out Andrew Holness and told him that Jamaicans need freedom. What would give a Kenyan motive for this? What gives President Ruto a motive to be a black turncoat in Africa? I said we don't have time for black frenemies. I don't care if they get paid. I don't care if they are Africans talking about brother, and I don't care if they are from the UK. Come to talking bullocks. The running around the African bandwagon could be seen as brotherly love. But remember to watch out for weak fences and back and belly rats. We want what we want, and no black brother or a white guy can come and tell us bullocks. This is not Kenya or England. This is yard, and yard people deal with yard business. Mr. Mark Golding from England. Yard people deal with yard business. A yard. All Kenyan no. All Kenyan no. Eh? All Kenyan no, man. By the way, big up Andrew Holness. You are doing a better job than most so far, at least since the white man named Edward Siaga, who was not allowed to finish a good inning. And I keep emphasizing white man for a reason that should be self-explanatory to a thinker. This is not to say you are even near there yet, bro God, but we are happy to have you instead of a British spy down here. Then they would do Jamaica the way they do Africa, helping in order to destabilize, helping in order to destabilize, helping in order to destabilize, funding terrorists and helping to fight against the terrorists, but failing deliberately to keep out the terrorists and then stealing resources and sacrificing the people. They want to be controlling through chaos all day, controlling through chaos all day, never solving a problem but lamenting that it is there. We want none of that over here. The IMF done did that to us. Remember, Mark Golding done did that to us in FINSAC. Remember, and Mark Golding's father left him the same legacy as an example. Remember, when Britain helps Nigeria, the problem becomes worse in Nigeria. The terrorists they help to remove increase in numbers because they are funded by Britain. People go missing by too many thousands. Then China discovers 2,100 penises of Igbo men from Nigeria come on a boat to China as delicacy, with rumors that they go to England too. In this world, there are real monsters and vampires, most obviously, and we want to part with that. We want no part with them, whoever they are. Human and human parts trafficking pays those terrorists too well. And what people do with human being trafficked and human parts, we don't. Oh, let's get our minds somewhere else. If we see anything that looks close to a viperous vermin, we ought not to take any chances, spew them out. Why are we not deporting yet? Huh? We are forced to say that Britain seems to have a hand in all this hullabaloo over here, an interfering hand, because the son of a British spy and some Scotland Yard guy are here. They come like snakes talking about bullocks and corruption. Britain is the most corrupt country in the history of corruption. Remember that England literally worked alongside their pirates. The pirates worked for England. The pirates went to loot on behalf of Britain. It was a pirate that discovered about tempered iron invention in Jamaica, and Britain worked with them to steal the factory from here and became a world power by it, building Crystal Palace and other state-of-the-art attractions. Then Britain turned coats and stole back the thing from the pirate, charging him for stealing after they both stole together. Why would we trust people that always come to destroy, corrupt, and steal from us? Since the coming of this Mark Golding, we see Kenyans telling lies and blogs against Jamaica, and we see Jamaicans taking the country business and lying about the state of the country. What is worse is they politicize what should be a collective effort, trying to bring shame to and disdain for this country. Why don't we take steps against treasonous Jamaicans? Why? We don't want a bastardized prime minister over here. No mixed up thing. Either you are Jamaican or not. Nothing on this earth could qualify a British mole who technically cannot be or become Jamaican in any way or by any means. That's why he lies. I said we cannot accept an act of bastardization of the post of Prime Minister. Whoever comes talking about bullocks, we cannot accept them either. They have never lost and they have nothing to lose. We have lost too much and we have too much to lose. We have no time to play Russian roulette for outsiders that care only to exploit us by sitting safely and watching us play the suicidal game so they can pick up the chips after the thing blows. No, we must take our own autonomy seriously. Cut out the sheep mentality over here. Remember how Margaret Thatcher's son went to Africa and planned a coup to kill thousands of our people just to distract them enough to steal their jewels. Well, Father Golding's son is in Jamaica talking about protesting abroad, with some guy from Scotland Yard talking about our constitution is bullocks. Why are we not deporting? England is deporting. And look what they did to Jamaicans that went to build England. Ungrateful nation. But Mark Golding and Mr. Bullocks never contributed a thing but destruction, like supporting the evil of FINSAC and perpetuating the failures of England, claiming to be helping with crime, but crime gets higher. So, Why are they still here when England did so wrong to our people that actually contributed there? They are not better than us. They only have no respect. We did see where PNP individuals had organized a demonstration on foreign shores about domestic issues in Jamaica, and it was enforced by the same British man. We have always handled our own affairs here. We don't like turncoats and back and belly rats, black or white, and we don't want no Buckra Massa here to put scorn upon our constitution or tell us what to choose or not to choose, talking about bullocks and implying that we are too dumb to do a thing but to imitate the King of England. That's a piece of crap if I have ever seen one. Go home, man. Go home. Why isn't Jamaica deporting? We deported Haitians the other day. Why not these turncoats and British moles? Yo, white man, you come here to speak to the roasted breadfruit dinosaurs. Well, unfortunately for you, the dinosaurs dead are dying of friggin' old age. Go home. Omar can't talk to you right now. Mark and his FINSAC legacy was enough. It done now. Time come. Go and carry your whip, your musket, and your chain. Use your lying tongue to lash your king and leave Jamaica's prime minister alone. You are not one of us. Only Jamaicans have a right to cuss out Anjo Wara Wara in Jamaica. We need your yokes from around our necks, and we must go about it without prejudice. We must never let their agents come here talking bullocks and expecting us to just sit and watch like some amused monkeys. Yes, I know I have been to Europe too, but we won't call you names. Just go. When last has Jamaica deported a dissenting Englishman or two? This is a good time to start with Mark Golden and Mark Shield. We have to be serious about our sovereign nation, and we cannot keep allowing the same white supremacists to put spokes into the wheels. I told you before that they will come and pose with some easily led black women to impose themselves into our trust, for that is what moles do. Some are trained to do that to entrench themselves. They will call you bunky in Europe and then come to Jamaica to marry black in order to drive supremacy from within. So when they get in, you trust them, they can drive their white supremacy from within. Then you will use that as a reason to trust them. Soon they will go to England to be knighted or something. Mark Golding went as far as to say his ancestors came here on slave ship, like we did not all know where the father Golding came from. Look how hard he tries to entrench himself. This is not naturalization. It is compelling the reality by force. Even to say he was born here, Edward Siaga was entrenched and naturalized by simply being Edward Siaga. Get it? Are we there yet? Edward Siaga wasn't born here. I know. Some of you are turncoats. Some of you are back and belly rats. Many men are licky licky, buck broken, broke back. I get that, and it's your business. But you better stop selling out. That includes the women that easily get red eye. We must learn to love ourselves. Once you love you, then all sense of inferiority will disappear. They say that history always repeats itself, but certain things we must never let repeat in these times. We simply have to liberate ourselves. We cannot tolerate the drawbacks, and neither can we pretend as if they are not there or they are not exactly what they are. If you doubt it, don't trust it. If they act like moles among us, then we must assume they are moles among us, because we cannot take chances with our children's legacy. Can't we finally come to see that they would not take chances with us? They must go. Clear them out. Whips, chains, muskets, and cantankerous, wagging, lying tongues, inciting disorder. Order in the House of Parliament. This is not a damned game of Russian roulette. Big up me General Vladimir Putin, by the way. Peace out.